Hello everyone, this is Noah, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about a quote from Chibana Chosin sensei, the founder of Shorin-Ryu karate. Now, this quote is a little bit lengthy in its entirety, but the key point about it is that it's talking about karate changing. Now, the quote is as follows: "Karate, as it is transmitted, changes every few years. This is a common phenomenon. It happens because a teacher must continue to learn and adds his personality to the teachings. There is an old Okinawan martial arts saying that states that karate is much like a pond. In order for the pond to live, it must have infusions. It must have streams that feed the pond and replenish it. If this is not done, then the pond becomes stagnant and dies. If the martial arts teacher does not receive infusions of new ideas or methods, then he too dies. He stagnates and, through boredom, dies of unnatural causes." The idea of karate changing is something that is generally refused by a lot of karate practitioners. They're constantly told that our kata hasn't been changed and it's been passed down exactly as it was taught, and you're never allowed to change the kata, and that we do everything exactly the way that the Okinawan masters did, and we haven't changed a thing. In traditional martial arts, there is a lot of pride in the idea that things have been passed down without being changed. But if we look at traditional martial arts, especially from before World War II usually, there's a lot of change that went on in the martial arts. Some of it was actually changing the kata themselves. If that didn't happen, we wouldn't be seeing all the different variations that we see today. You can look at different branches of Shorin-Ryu, even ones that share lineage up to the 1960s or 70s, and see some fairly significant changes in the kata. And clearly we can't say, oh, we never changed the kata, if the kata is different from everyone else. And we may not know who all changed what kata to be different things or why they changed them. But it's clear that they do change over time. We know a very good example of this is Itosu Anko, who changed a great deal about the kata that he was taught by his instructors, and he also developed new kata himself, which could very well be seen as changing karate. In fact, Itosu's introduction of the Pinan kata changed a lot about karate for a lot of people. So it isn't something that is meant to stay the same forever. Now, this is a fairly common saying, as Chibana points out. He's not the only one to bring this up. I know that Funakoshi Gichin, for example, the founder of Shotokan, said very much the same thing. This is something that makes people a little uncomfortable because they pride themselves on having that connection to the past and having not changed anything. But no matter what you do, even if you are trying to preserve the kata exactly as you were taught it, you are going to make some changes to it just by virtue of having a different body structure than your instructor, having different physical attributes, having a different mentality about certain things. These will make very subtle changes to the kata, but changes nonetheless. And I don't feel that Chibana was necessarily saying, change the kata. Everything needs to be different now because it needs to change every few years. I don't think that he was saying that. And as a matter of fact, he did tell Nakazato Shugoro sensei, the founder of my branch of Shorin-Ryu in particular, not to change the kata. But again, over the course of my time training, I've seen changes in the kata. Very minor ones, admittedly, but still changes to the kata. And this is all related to the other components of karate that might change over time. Your approach to different techniques, your idea of application, your idea of body mechanics, these different things that you learn from different places over time. You might get an idea from this instructor and another idea from this instructor, and that can alter the way that you do things. So these minor changes can add up over time to something a little bit more significant. But that doesn't make it bad necessarily, as long as it is working toward the development and evolution of karate as it is intended as a martial art. So we don't necessarily need to lock our karate in a box and try and keep it exactly preserved. It's something that was intended to evolve and grow and change over time.